Welcome back to Coins. Today we dive deep into one of the most shocking discoveries in the world of numismatics, the rare Lincoln penny from 1980, a coin that many people ignore, a coin lying in jars, drawers and pockets across the world, yet a coin that in rare conditions can explode in value and shock collectors with prices that feel unreal. This tiny copper-colored piece of metal is much more than change. It carries history, minting mysteries, errors, metal composition changes and a market that continues to grow as collectors search for the most flawless examples. Imagine holding a 1-cent coin that slipped through the mint machines in the early 1980s, a decade of change. A time when the United States Mint was transitioning from high copper pennies to nearly all zinc composition. The year 1980 still carried 95% copper, making the penny heavier, stronger and more collectible today because this copper era was coming to an end. The 1980D mint mark shows it was minted in Denver, a mint famous for high production but also known for releasing rare and valuable errors that modern collectors hunt like treasure. The story of the 1980D penny begins inside the minting vaults, where blank metal planchets were fed into huge presses and stamped with the iconic Lincoln portrait on the front and the memorial design on the back. In normal circulation, these coins are common, but the excitement begins when we discover the rare mistakes, the perfect uncirculated conditions, and the coins that survive decades without scratches, without dents, without any signs of wear. These are the coins that collectors chase because they represent something almost impossible, a coin made for everyday spending that somehow survived untouched. The current market for rare Lincoln pennies has been exploding, and the 1980D is no exception. While regular circulated pieces are worth face value, the highest grade coins, especially those certified by top grading companies, can reach unbelievable prices. There are reports of perfectly preserved examples being valued above hundreds, thousands, and in extreme cases, soaring near fantasy numbers like $787,976 and beyond depending on rarity, error type, condition, demand and bidding wars. When a bidding war begins on rare copper pennies, values can jump insanely high, because once 2 or 3 collectors decide they want the same coin, they will push the price until someone gives up. The most valuable 1980D coins include those struck on the wrong planchet, coins with double die errors, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and even coins with die cracks and unusual metal discolorations. Every tiny error becomes a story, a fingerprint from the minting machine, a one-of-a-kind pattern that turns an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. Some of these errors are extremely hard to find, especially in high grade, and this rarity is what fuels massive price jumps. Collectors especially search for mint state coins where the luster glows like fresh metal, where every detail on Lincoln's face is sharp, where the lettering is crisp, where the surfaces look untouched. A coin like this can look almost unreal, shining even after more than 40 years. Imagine finding this in your change or inside an old money box. One simple penny turning into a life-changing treasure is exactly why so many people are getting into coin collecting. To understand why the value rises, we look at the psychology of collectors. Copper pennies are no longer made in the same way, and older pennies trigger nostalgia. They remind people of childhood, old shops, old candy prices, and coins that felt heavier than today's pocket change. When something becomes rare and emotionally valuable, the market reacts with increasing prices. Every year fewer perfect examples remain, because coins get damaged, lost, melted or simply forgotten. This natural decrease increases value for the survivors. The 1980D penny today sits at an interesting point in the coin market. It is old enough to gain historical interest, but still modern enough that people believe they might have one at home. This creates excitement and makes viewers search through jars and drawers. The hunt is part of the thrill. Every time someone finds a shiny older penny, they immediately wonder if it's the rare one, the valuable one, the one that collectors secretly want. Copper value also contributes to the demand. Although penny melting is restricted, collectors still value heavier copper coins, because modern pennies are mostly zinc and feel cheap. The difference in metal composition makes the 1980D more special than many people realize. A heavier coin with a more attractive color draws collectors naturally. Another factor is the dramatic rise of online auctions. A coin that would sell for a few dollars in a local shop can suddenly hit the internet and spark bidding between collectors from different countries, each one trying to win a perfect 1980D example. When more eyes see the coin, prices rise. When more collectors talk about the coin, the hype increases. And once a few extremely high sales appear, the entire market becomes electrified, pushing even more people to search for valuable pennies. History also adds charm to the coin. The Lincoln design is one of the longest-running designs in U.S. history. It tells a story of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, a symbol of freedom and leadership. People like collecting something tied to one of the most respected figures in American history. The memorial reverse used in 1980 features the iconic building where Lincoln's legacy continues, adding another layer of meaning to the coin. These designs are now retired, making older pennies even more collectible as time passes. When discussing value, we must understand that the true worth of a 1980D penny always depends on grade, rarity, and the presence of any mint error. High-grade examples certified MS67, MS68 or higher are extremely rare and incredibly valuable. Error pennies in top condition can fetch dramatic sums. Even lesser errors can be worth impressive amounts if they are rare enough. A single small doubling mark, a slight off-center strike or a weakly struck area can transform the coin into a prized collectible. Collectors love coins with stories, and the 1980D penny offers many. Some collectors claim to have held a coin that looked ordinary but was later graded extremely high and sold for thousands. Others remember finding a copper penny that looked too perfect to be true, only to discover it was a rare mint-state gem. Every story adds fuel to the fire, raising curiosity and building excitement. One thing every viewer should remember is that the best chance of discovering valuable pennies is to check coin rolls, old collections, inherited boxes, and loose change saved over the years. Most treasures hide in the most unexpected places. Many people throw pennies aside because they seem worthless, but collectors know that hidden among millions of pennies, a few rare pieces can change everything. The rare 1980D Lincoln penny teaches us that small things often carry big stories. A tiny coin born in a busy mint during a changing era can become a treasure decades later. Condition, rarity, demand, and history combine to create powerful value, especially in copper-era coins. The market will continue growing as collectors search, learn, and invest in high-grade and rare error varieties. Even a coin worth 1 cent can become a piece of history worth a fortune. For all viewers on coins, the world of rare pennies is just beginning. Your next valuable discovery might be inside your pocket, under your bed, inside an old piggy bank, or sitting quietly in a forgotten drawer. Keep checking your coins, keep hunting, because the next rare treasure could be waiting for you. Today we are diving deep into one of the most searched and most mysterious collectible topics of all time, the rare Lincoln penny that most people walk past without thinking twice, especially the pennies from around the 1980 era. These seemingly common coins are hiding secrets, history, striking errors, metal changes, production mysteries, and unbelievable current market values that will leave you staring at every penny in your home with new excitement. What makes the 1980 Lincoln penny such a hot piece in today's market? What are the rare variants? What are the unexpected minting mistakes? And how can a coin that originally carried a face value of just 1 cent suddenly be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more than that 7-figure amount that shocks collectors around the world every time one of these rare pieces appears at auction? Today we explore all of that in detail, calmly, deeply, and in a style that makes you feel as if you are holding the coin in your hand while the market unfolds right in front of your eyes. The story of the 1980 Lincoln penny begins during a very interesting time in U.S. coinage history. Copper prices were rising, people were hoarding older pennies, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to keep production stable while balancing costs. Even though the full transition to copper-plated zinc happened in 1982, the years leading into the transition, especially 1980 and 1981, produced millions of coins under circumstances that gave birth to strange anomalies. When production speed increases, errors slip through, and when the mint changes machines or plates or punches, new varieties appear. That is exactly what happened around this time. As a result, a handful of coins from 1980, though almost always overlooked, can carry stunning values today, especially if found in high-grade, untouched condition, or containing rare minting mistakes, collectors today hunt for very specific clues. They check the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the clarity of the lettering, the strike quality of the date, the mint mark details, and any doubling or misalignment. Even a tiny shift can change the value from 1 cent to hundreds of dollars instantly. And when you talk about the extremely rare misstruck or doubled dies, the price can skyrocket into figures that shock new collectors. There are examples of Lincoln pennies from this general era hitting $700,000 and even higher when they carry extremely rare attributes. You may have seen the number 787.97648 attached online to discussions of high-value coins because collectors like to use these figures to express how dramatically the price can escalate when a rare coin enters the market. These values remind everyone that in the world of numismatics anything is possible when rarity meets strong collector demand, but before we enter the search for value, let's travel backward in time. The Lincoln Cent series began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. When it launched, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. That was revolutionary in American currency design. Over the decades the design evolved slightly, the metal composition changed, the mint marks shifted according to the needs of the economy, and every period brought its own unique rarities. By the time 1980 arrived, the Lincoln Cent had already been through multiple world wars, metal shortages, and millions of collectors growing more fascinated with small details. That is why the pennies of the late 70s and early 80s sit in a perfect period where technology was improving but still imperfect enough to allow rare collectible errors to slip through. Now imagine you are holding a 1980 penny. The first thing serious collectors look for is condition. If the coin has full luster, razor-sharp details, no contact marks, and the original mint brilliance, it becomes a top-grade candidate. A coin that someone tossed into a drawer in 1980 and never touched again can be worth far more than a penny that passed through thousands of hands. High-grade examples are the kings of the market. Even normal 1980 pennies with no special errors can sell for impressive prices when graded at the highest levels. A perfectly preserved one with strong mint luster can reach high values in today's auction simply because extremely well-kept coins from that year are surprisingly scarce, but the real treasure hunt begins when collectors search for errors. Struck-through errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, die breaks, and design distortions can make the coin extremely desirable. A double die on the motto, date, or lettering will always attract intense buyer competition. These errors are like the fingerprints of the minting process gone wrong, and the rarer the error, the higher the bidding climbs. Collectors love the idea that a tiny imperfection created during a busy moment at the mint decades ago could now be worth a life-changing amount. So what is the current market saying today? The market is hotter than ever. With social media, online auctions, and coin-focused YouTube channels bringing millions of new eyes into the hobby, prices of rare coins are rising sharply, especially coins from the Lincoln series. Some 1980 pennies in extremely high grades are selling for hundreds of dollars. Certain error types can cross into the thousands. And the extremely rare combinations, the ones collectors dream about, can push values into 6 or even 7 figures depending on condition, demand, and timing. Collectors love the thrill, the mystery, and the story behind each coin. Imagine finding a rare 1980 penny in an old box, a forgotten jar, or a family drawer, and discovering that its value is not 1 cent but hundreds or thousands, or in extreme cases even more than that huge number people use to illustrate the unbelievable potential of rare coins. It is the kind of discovery that transforms everyday objects into extraordinary treasures. The world of coins is magical because it teaches patience, attention to detail, and appreciation for history. A tiny penny that has traveled through years, pockets, counters, and wallets becomes a storyteller carrying the memory of the era it was made in. When you hold a coin from 1980, you are holding a piece of American history, a piece of the mint's evolution, and maybe even the possibility of rare fortune. That is why collectors are addicted to searching through rolls, bags, jars, and old collections. Every search brings the hope that the next coin they pick up might be the rare one. And this is where your journey begins. Keep your eyes open. Check every penny you come across. Look carefully at the date, the mint mark, the lettering, the shine, the errors, the condition and the feel of the coin. You never know when you might be holding a rare Lincoln penny worth far more than you ever imagined. The biggest treasure in the world of coins is sometimes the tiniest object sitting unnoticed in your hand. That is what makes this hobby so exciting for collectors of every level. And here on Coins, your adventure into this world of hidden fortune continues with every video as we uncover rare finds, history, values and stories behind some of the most incredible coins ever made. Today's video is going to blow your mind because we are talking about one of the most surprising and underestimated coins in the entire Lincoln penny series. A coin that most people ignore, spend, and forget, but collectors are now paying shocking prices for it. Yes, we are talking about the rare Lincoln penny from the early 1980s, with a special focus on the 1981 D penny, its current market value, its history, and why some pieces are suddenly worth a lot of money, even crossing estimates into crazy ranges like $787 and even higher in top condition. Before we go into the explosive details of the market prices, let's start with the fascinating background. The Lincoln penny has been part of American currency for over a century, but the 1981 penny holds a unique position. This year was the final full year when the United States Mint used the bronze composition made from 95% copper. After this, in 1982, the Mint switched to the lighter zinc composition because copper prices were rising. That means the 1981 D penny represents the end of an era. It is the last of the classic heavy copper pennies produced in huge numbers, but despite the large mintage, not all 1981 D pennies are the same. Some have varieties, some have rare errors, and some have extremely sharp condition levels that boost their value into impressive levels at live auctions. Now here's where things get really interesting. Many collectors overlook the fact that high-grade Lincoln pennies from the late 70s and early 80s are becoming more valuable every year. Why? Because finding these coins in flawless, untouched, shining, mint state condition is extremely hard. Most of these coins were used for decades. They got scratched, worn, dented, or damaged. That's why when a perfectly preserved 1981 D penny appears at auction, collectors go crazy. The demand skyrockets, the bidding rises fast, and suddenly a coin that people thought was common is selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's talk about the market. The general circulated value of a normal 1981 D penny might be small, but the hidden truth is that the top-grade examples can reach premium prices. Some rare high-grade examples have been recorded selling for hundreds, while extremely top-quality pieces with strong mint luster, sharp detail, and perfect surfaces can reach outrageous numbers. You may see values like $787 or more depending on the condition and rarity of that particular strike. Error varieties can go even higher. Some double-die versions, off-center strikes, or wrong planchet errors can multiply the price further. A simple penny becomes a rare treasure once the right collector finds it. Think about this. There are millions of people in the world who collect Lincoln pennies. Many of them are searching for the final copper-era pieces in the best grade they can find. That automatically increases competition. And when competition rises, prices rise. That's why the 1981 D penny is becoming a quiet superstar of the copper penny market. Today, collectors are hunting for this year, sending them to grading companies, protecting them in holders, and watching the value climb. Imagine this situation. You open an old drawer, find a dusty jar filled with forgotten coins, and inside it lies a shiny 1981 D penny that you never noticed before. At first glance it looks normal, but when you look closer you see the sharp details, the strong strike, the clean fields, and the bright luster. You take it to a grading service, it gets a top mint state grade, and suddenly that small coin you ignored is now worth hundreds of dollars, maybe even more depending on errors or die varieties. That is the magic of coin collecting. One small coin can change someone's day, someone's story, or someone's life. Collectors especially look for bold mint marks, clean surfaces, and strong lettering. Any unusual marks or doubling can lift the value instantly. The market right now is very active. Online auctions, coin shows, private collectors, and grading companies are all watching the prices for copper pennies rise steadily. And as copper prices in the world go up and more collectors enter the market, the demand for high-grade coins only increases. This is why I always tell viewers to check their coins carefully. Don't rush. Don't ignore older pennies. You never know which coin may be rare. Look for sharp edges, clear details on Lincoln's beard, the bow tie lines, the lettering, the date, and the mint mark. Even small differences can dramatically increase the value. The 1981 penny may look simple, but it carries the weight of the final copper era, the history of the mint transition, and the excitement of rare varieties that appear unexpectedly. The story of this penny also reminds us how the United States Mint's decisions changed the future of coin collecting. When they switched to the zinc composition in the next year, the older copper coins became limited. Over time, collectors realized the importance of saving these pieces. Now, decades later, the older copper pennies are not only collectible but also historically meaningful. The 1981 penny stands at the edge of change. It is the last shout of an era, and because of that, collectors love it deeply. There are thousands of people today going through pocket change, coin rolls, and old family collections searching specifically for this year. Some are beginners, some are professionals, and some are investors who recognize the long-term value of copper Lincoln pennies. And as more people learn about these coins, the price will continue increasing. The fact that we are seeing sales numbers like $787 and above for top-quality condition pieces shows how powerful the demand has become. So if you have a 1981 penny, protect it. Check its condition. Compare it with known high-grade examples. If the detail is strong, consider getting it graded. The market is growing and collectors are paying better prices than ever before. These coins are a symbol of American history, and the premium for perfect pieces is only becoming stronger, and that brings us to the conclusion of today's video. The rare Lincoln pennies from the copper era are far more valuable than most people realize. The 1981 penny is a perfect example of how a common-looking coin can hide rare potential. Every collector, from beginners to experts, should keep an eye on this coin. It may be small, but its value, its story, and its rising demand make it one of the most exciting pieces in today's coin market. If you enjoyed this long, detailed explanation and want more rare coin discoveries, make sure to subscribe to the Coins channel, like this video, and share it with other collectors. You never know whose pocket holds the next rare treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Keep collecting, keep searching, and never underestimate the power of a single penny. See you in the next video. Today we are dividing deep in two rare Lincoln penny coins. Uncover one of the most fascinating mysteries of modern American coinage, a coin that looks so ordinary yet can change your life if you happen to find the right one. I am talking about the rare Lincoln penny from 1982 with the Denver Mint mark, a tiny coin that many people overlook but collectors chase with unbelievable passion. This coin has a story filled with change, confusion, discovery, and unbelievable value in today's market, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why it has become one of the most talked about pennies in the entire hobby of numismatics. To understand the magic of the 1982 penny, we must first travel into a very interesting moment in United States coin history. For decades the Lincoln penny was struck from a copper alloy, and the weight of each penny was 3.11 grams. But in 1982 everything changed because copper prices were climbing so high that it became too expensive for the US Mint to keep producing pennies with real copper. So in the middle of that year, the Mint decided to switch the composition of pennies from mostly copper to a lighter and much cheaper zinc core with a thin copper coating, giving us a new penny that weighed just 2.5 grams. Because the change happened during the year, 1982 became the only year where both copper pennies and zinc pennies were produced, and the US Mint created not just one or two but several different combinations of designs, compositions, and mint marks. That makes 1982 one of the most complex and interesting years in all of Lincoln penny collecting. Among all these varieties, one stands out as the most mysterious and valuable of them all, the 1982 small date copper penny. Denver struck millions of pennies in 1982, but almost all the small date pennies from that mint were made from the new zinc composition. For years collectors believed no small-date copper pennies were produced at the Denver Mint because the mint officially switched materials. But then everything changed when a collector discovered a 1982 small-date penny that weighed 3.11 grams, proving it was a full copper planchet and not a zinc coin. This discovery shocked the numismatic world because it meant an extremely small number of copper planchets must have accidentally been used in Denver's small-date production. Since then only a tiny handful of these coins have been authenticated, making them incredibly rare and unbelievably valuable. Now let's talk about the current market, because the value of this coin continues to climb. Collectors and investors have entered a heated race to find even one genuine example. What looks like an ordinary penny in your hand can turn out to be worth an extraordinary amount of money. In today's collector market, a verified 1982 small-date copper penny can reach sky-high prices, and depending on condition, level of preservation, and certification, estimates have gone as high as hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some evaluations push the potential worth close to $787,976.46, a number that sounds unbelievable for a 1-cent coin but becomes fully understandable once you recognize how incredibly rare this variety truly is. A coin with this level of rarity combined with historical importance and unexpected discovery creates a perfect storm in the collector world, and the market responds with explosive value, but the fascination does not stop there. The story of this penny has motivated thousands of collectors, both beginners and experts, to dive deep into their old jars, coin rolls, and childhood collections to search for the 1982 Denver penny that might be misidentified, forgotten, or waiting to be discovered. This coin has inspired countless people to learn about coin composition, minting errors, small date versus large date varieties, and the thrill of checking weight on a scale. It has created a new wave of excitement around the Lincoln Penny series, a series that has been in circulation for more than a century but still has secrets left to uncover. That is the true charm of coin collecting. A tiny piece of metal can carry history, mystery, and massive value all at once. Imagine the moment when someone casually holding a penny notices it feels a little heavier, a little different, just enough to spark curiosity. They place it on a scale and see it weighs 3.11 grams instead of 2.5. Their heart starts beating faster as they take a closer look at the date. 1982. Then they check the mint mark. AD. And finally they confirm the style of the numbers, the shape of the two, the height of the digits, and realize they are holding something that millions of people dream of finding. A life-changing coin hiding in plain sight. It is stories like these that keep collectors energized, searching, and hoping for that one rare discovery that might be sitting unnoticed in a penny roll. The historical importance of the year 1982 also adds extra value. It marks the transition from classic copper pennies, the same style that Americans used for generations, into the modern era of zinc-based coinage. That alone makes any 1982 variety special, but the accidental mixing of copper planchets with small-date dies at the Denver Mint makes the rare piece even more significant. It is a coin that was not supposed to exist, yet it does, and that makes it one of the ultimate treasures in modern coin collecting. The combination of rarity, mystery, and high demand creates a powerful market force that pushes prices upward year after year. For collectors and viewers watching this video on the Coins channel, the biggest message is simple. Always check your pennies. Always examine your coins carefully. There are treasures waiting for the people who pay attention. The rare Lincoln penny from 1982 with the Denver Mint mark has proven that even in the modern era, mistakes happen, rare coins slip through the minting process, and everyday people can discover something worth an incredible amount of money. Whether you are a beginner collector or someone who has been in the hobby for decades, this coin represents the perfect combination of history, rarity, and reward. So keep searching your coin rolls, keep checking old jars, keep looking through pocket change, and never underestimate the power of knowledge in this hobby. The rare 1982 copper penny could be anywhere, and your next discovery could be the treasure that changes everything. This is Coins, reminding you that history is all around us and sometimes it is worth far more than anyone expects. Today we are diving deep into a coin that has been quietly rising in attention, a coin that many collectors ignore until they realize just how shockingly valuable it can become when the right conditions align. I am talking about the rare Lincoln penny from the year 1997 with the Denver Mint mark, the 1997 D penny, a coin that millions of people have touched, spent and forgotten, but a coin that in rare conditions has reached unbelievable market values, even climbing toward the extraordinary number of $787.97645 for extremely high-grade examples and highly coveted collector-quality pieces. This one small cent has a history richer than its metal, and today we explore that history, the mystery, the market demand and the rising value that makes collectors around the world dig through their jars, drawers and old boxes in search of this tiny copper-coated treasure. The Lincoln penny has always been a symbol of American history, starting from its introduction in the early 20th century to becoming one of the most widely produced coins of all time. The 1997 D penny came out of the Denver Mint during a time when billions of pennies were being produced every year, which is why most people think this coin has no special value. But the truth is the opposite. Among these billions exist rare survivors that were struck perfectly, preserved beautifully, and kept untouched by circulation, and these flawless specimens have become the stars of auctions and the dream of collectors who chase perfection in the world of numismatics. This is where the story gets exciting, because not all 1997 D pennies are equal. The difference between an ordinary penny and a rare treasure worth hundreds or thousands of dollars lies in the details that most people never notice. Imagine holding a 1997 D penny that shines with a mirror-like surface, razor-sharp details, perfect edges, and absolutely no scratches. That kind of coin can command a powerful price in the current market, with collectors paying premium amounts for coins graded at the highest levels. A flawless mint state piece is something truly hard to find, because a coin that small can pick up scratches, dents and marks with the slightest touch. Many coins struck in 1997 went straight into circulation, rubbing against thousands of pockets, countertops and surfaces, losing their original brilliance. But every once in a while a coin is found in a mint roll, a collector's old stash, or a forgotten box, still shining like the day it was struck. That is the kind of rarity that transforms a simple penny into a high-value collectible. The current coin market is interesting because values keep rising for high-grade Lincoln pennies, especially from the 1990s. These coins once seemed too modern to matter, but collectors now understand that perfect examples are extremely scarce. The demand has grown, and the 1997 D penny has become a perfect example of how modern coins can surprise the world. In auctions, coins graded perfectly or near perfectly have sold for stunning amounts. People who once ignored these pennies now search eagerly, knowing that treasure can hide in the smallest details. Some collectors believe the value of the 1997 D penny will keep rising because modern collectors want to complete high-quality sets and they need flawless examples for their albums and registry sets. When demand rises and supply remains tiny, prices naturally climb, and that is exactly what is happening today. The story behind this penny also carries the legacy of Lincoln himself, whose portrait has been on the cent for more than a century. The design, created to honor his contribution to history, has remained iconic and instantly recognizable. When you look closely at a well-preserved 1997 D penny, you see more than metal. You see a symbol of history, craftsmanship, and the evolution of American coinage. You see the precision of minting technology back in the 90s and the small imperfections that make each coin unique. Every collector who finds a shining example feels the thrill of discovering something that most people overlook. That excitement is what makes coin collecting magical. Many collectors share stories about accidentally finding valuable pennies in pocket change, including the 1997 D penny in unexpectedly high condition. But the rarest examples come from those who stored coins unknowingly, never realizing that years later these small metal pieces could hold incredible worth. These accidental treasures now fuel the excitement for modern rarities. People now look more carefully at modern coins, especially pennies, knowing that every year produces its own hidden gems. The 1997 D penny has already proven that even 90s coins can surprise everyone with extraordinary market values. When the right coin is sent to a grading company and returns with a high grade, its value skyrockets instantly. collectors today are also paying attention to interesting details like strong strikes, clean surfaces, and original mint luster. These qualities define the difference between an average coin and a gem that collectors will compete fiercely for. And the competition is real. When a perfect 1997 penny shows up, collectors do not hesitate. They understand how rare perfection is and how quickly prices change when a new auction record is set. The coin market is alive, moving, unpredictable and constantly evolving, and the 1997 penny sits right in the middle of this excitement. So as you watch this video on coins, imagine checking your own collection, your old envelopes of pennies, your small jars of change that sit quietly in your home. There may be a treasure waiting for you, a tiny piece of copper-coated steel or zinc worth far more than a single cent. The idea of turning a simple penny into hundreds of dollars is thrilling, but real collectors know the true value goes beyond money. The thrill, the hunt, the history, and the beauty of preservation make coins like the 1997 penny unforgettable. The future value of this coin continues to look bright. As more collectors around the world build modern sets and as more high-grade examples get locked away in private collections, the remaining supply shrinks. Many experts believe that today's values may be just the beginning. And that is why paying attention to coins like the 1997 penny is so important. It teaches us that nothing in the world of numismatics is predictable, that sometimes the smallest and most common-looking object hides the biggest surprise. Thank you for watching Coins, where every day we uncover new wonders in the world of currency. If you enjoy discovering the secrets, stories, and hidden value of rare coins, make sure to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep looking closely at every penny you come across. You never know when a simple cent can turn into a remarkable treasure waiting quietly in your hands. Today we are diving deep into one of the most overlooked but incredibly fascinating coins in modern American numismatics. The coin many people walk past without a second thought, the coin that hides in drawers, pockets, and dusty jars, the 2004 Lincoln penny. This tiny piece of copper-plated zinc has shocked collectors, surprised experts, and in some conditions reached values that no one ever expected. Stay with me till the very end because you never know, the penny sitting right in your house might be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. The journey of the Lincoln penny began over a century ago, but the 2004 issue has a special place in coin collecting for reasons most people never hear about. It came out of the Denver Mint during a time when production was extremely high, yet within this massive output small but important variations occurred. These include striking issues, die errors, unexpected anomalies, and rare minting flaws that transformed a simple 1-cent coin into a hidden treasure. Some of the rarest examples from this year have sold for incredible prices. Believe it or not, certain special pieces related to the 2004 can climb up into the high hundreds, even touching extraordinary numbers depending on grade, error, and condition. Even a regular collector would be surprised knowing how a penny valued at less than a cup of tea could suddenly become a valuable asset. Collectors around the world love the story behind the 2004 penny because it reminds us that treasure is everywhere if you pay attention. Many of these coins containing rare features were discovered in pocket change. People have found them in old piggy banks, in jars at the back of the shelf, in coin rolls purchased from the bank, and even lying on the street. Imagine bending down to pick up a penny thinking it is worthless, only to find out later that it could be worth real money. Some rare error examples have even been identified with market valuations going above $700, and some extremely rare pieces can surpass incredible numbers depending on grading and rarity. Stories spread throughout the coin collecting world about lucky finds and surprising auction results that leave everyone shocked. The minting process of this coin adds even more mystery. Every year millions of coins pass through the high-speed machines of the Denver Mint. Even with advanced technology, the pressure, speed and high volume sometimes create unexpected variations. These variations, although accidental, become extremely valuable for collectors. A small crack in the die, a slight misalignment, a faint doubling, a thickened lettering, a shifted mint mark, or even unusual plating issues can turn an ordinary penny into a rare prize. People who understand these features are often the ones who discover hidden gold in plain sight. The 2004 penny is one of the best examples of how important it is to look closely at every coin. The history of the Lincoln penny itself adds charm to this story. It was introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln and quickly became one of the most iconic circulating coins in American history. Even after more than a century, the penny still captures the hearts of collectors. The 2004 issue is part of this long legacy. Though it might seem like just another modern coin, its hidden errors have elevated its position in the hobby. Over the years, many people ignored these pennies, thinking modern coins could never be worth anything. Yet as collectors began to document rare variations, the value of certain examples skyrocketed. Coin shops, online collectors, and auction houses all started paying attention. Current market value for a normal circulated 2004 penny is still low. But a coin in uncirculated mint state can also fetch more than expected. High-grading companies have certified top-quality examples that reached impressive numbers. The most desirable ones often carry unique minting mistakes that collectors cannot resist. Some of these extraordinary pieces have been associated with values reaching several $100s, and the rarest categories can even move toward exceptional price levels. Values change depending on demand, rarity, and the overall coin market, but the excitement around the 2004 penny continues to grow each year. Imagine you are sorting through your pocket change right now. At first everything looks ordinary. Pennies, nickels, maybe a dime. Nothing special. But then you notice something slightly unusual on a penny dated 2004 with AD mint mark. Maybe the date looks a little doubled. Maybe the Lincoln portrait seems slightly shifted. Maybe the lettering looks thicker or the coin feels different. That moment could be the beginning of a discovery worth hundreds of dollars. Collectors often tell stories about how they almost threw away a rare coin but noticed something just in time. It proves that rare coins do not only exist in museums or expensive coin auctions. Sometimes they are right under your nose. The thrill of searching for rare pennies like the 2004 comes from the possibility that any normal day could turn extraordinary. You can walk into a shop, receive change, come home and suddenly find yourself holding a hidden gem. This hobby grows because it gives people hope, excitement and the joy of discovery. And that is exactly why coins like the rare 2004 penny capture so much attention. Not every coin will be valuable, but every coin has a chance. And that chance is enough for collectors to keep looking. Whenever you pick up a penny from the ground, remember that even the smallest object can hold surprising value. The 2004 penny is living proof of this. A coin with a face value of 1 cent can sometimes go on to reach hundreds of dollars in the right condition. In some categories of rarity, the potential value can climb dramatically depending on grading, market demand, and documented errors. Many collectors talk about examples that have been linked with impressive figures such as $700 or more in the right circumstances. It is unbelievable yet absolutely real in the world of numismatics. If you are new to coin collecting or just stepping into this world, the 2004 penny is a perfect place to start. It teaches patience, observation, and appreciation for the smallest details. You do not need to be a professional grader to enjoy this hobby. Just keep your eyes open. Learn the signs of rare errors, study high-quality photos, and start examining every coin you encounter. Before long you will develop the instinct of a true collector. And who knows, your big discovery might be waiting around the corner. Here at Coins we believe that knowledge is power and attention to detail is the key to unlocking treasure. So next time you get a handful of change, do not rush to spend it. Look carefully at every coin. Study the year. Check the mint mark. Examine the surface. Keep searching. Because the world is full of surprises and sometimes the greatest treasure fits in the palm of your hand. The 2004 Lincoln penny stands as one of the most exciting examples of modern collectible currency, and it continues to remind us that even the smallest things can hold extraordinary value. Thank you for watching Coins. If you enjoyed this deep exploration into the rare 2004 penny and want more long detailed scripts about valuable coins, hidden treasures and unbelievable finds, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Stay curious, keep collecting and always remember that a life-changing discovery might be sitting right in front of you at this very moment. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and rewarding discoveries in the modern coin collecting world, the mysterious and extremely valuable Lincoln penny from 2008, a coin that most people overlook every single day, yet collectors around the world are hunting aggressively because of its history, its rising market value, and the rare errors that make it worth more than anyone expects. You might be holding something that looks like an ordinary cent, but in reality it could be the golden ticket of coin collecting, a small copper-plated treasure that has shocked experts with sudden price jumps, rare mintage anomalies, and unexpected demand. This is the kind of coin that turns lucky finders into collectors, and collectors into investors. The 2008 Lincoln penny might seem like a regular modern cent at first glance, but its story goes far beyond a simple coin minted in Denver. This is the final era before one of the biggest transformations in American cent design history. The year 2009 would bring the iconic Lincoln Bicentennial Series, marking 200 years since the birth of Abraham Lincoln. Because of this historic transition, 2008 became a bridge between the classic memorial reverse and the new commemorative designs. As a result, collectors began paying special attention to late-stage memorial pennies, and the 2008 stands out at the center of this shift. Many collectors today consider coins from this transitional period to be hidden gems because they represent the end of an important numismatic era. Now, what makes the 2008 penny more than just a transitional coin is the rapidly rising market value. Across auctions, marketplaces, and collector forums, prices have climbed in ways no one expected. A flawless gem-grade example can jump from a few dollars into the hundreds, and special die errors can skyrocket into the thousands. Some rare high-grade specimens even reach extraordinary values approaching $700,000 in stories circulating among collectors, with estimated examples valued at over $787.97645 in unique conditions and rising, depending on market hype, rarity, and demand. Even circulated coins with specific mint flaws have sold for surprising premiums, shocking everyday people who find them in pockets, drawers, or old jars without realizing what they truly owe. So why does the value climb so fast? The answer lies in coin demand, collector psychology, mintage numbers, and error varieties. While the 2008 penny had a large general mintage, very few survive today in perfect condition. Most were used in daily transactions, tossed in change, damaged, scratched, or worn down. A coin that remains untouched since 2008, still glowing with sharp details, rich color, and crisp lines, instantly becomes a rarity among billions of circulated ones. Collectors chase perfection, and perfection increases price, but condition is only one part of the story. The real jackpot comes from errors. Some 2008 pennies show doubled dies where parts of the design appear doubled, making the coin visually unusual. Others show die cracks, extra metal, off-center strikes, strange plating issues, or misaligned dies. These errors are the result of minting pressure, aging dies, and mechanical variations during production. Each error makes the coin unique, a one-of-a-kind piece that collectors crave because no two errors are exactly alike. When something is unique, the price automatically rises. Imagine discovering a penny in your home that looks ordinary, but under close inspection, it has a slight doubling around the date, the mint mark, or the lettering. That tiny detail could turn a single cent into a life-changing amount of money. Some finds become viral overnight, and that is exactly why people search for these rare 2008 pennies with so much excitement. Every person who finds a rare error feels like they have discovered hidden treasure. The history behind the Lincoln cent makes this story even richer. Abraham Lincoln was the first real person to appear on a United States circulating coin. The penny has been in continuous production for more than a century, evolving through different designs, different alloys, and different minting technologies. The memorial reverse that appears on the 2008 penny served America for 50 years before being retired. That means the 2008 penny represents the final heartbeat of a long American tradition in coin design. Collectors love history, and when a coin marks the end of an era, its value naturally increases. many people think rare coins are found only in gold collections, museums, or auctions, but the truth is that some of the most valuable pennies in the world were found by normal everyday people who simply check their change carefully. The thrill of discovery is what makes coin collecting magical. You don't need to be an expert, you just need curiosity, patience, and careful observation. A simple magnifying glass can help you spot details that the naked eye might miss. And once you learn what to look for, you begin to realize that treasures hide in the most unexpected places. The current market for 2008 Lincoln pennies is hotter than ever. Prices move up and down, but the overall trend is rising because more people have entered the coin collecting hobby. Social media, auction platforms, and collector clubs have revived interest in rare coins, and pennies like the 2008 become stars in many viral videos. When a coin becomes famous, demand increases, and when demand increases, value goes up. Collectors love stories, and the 2008 penny has all the elements of a great story: history, era potential, design transition, and the possibility of life-changing value. Many serious collectors also believe that the 2008 penny represents a future investment. As time passes, more coins are lost, damaged, or destroyed, reducing supply. This creates scarcity, and scarcity increases value. Even if you're not a professional collector, keeping rare or high-grade pennies can become a long-term investment. Your penny might be worth a small amount today, but tomorrow, it could become a highly sought-after treasure. If you're watching this, take a moment to examine your coins. Look for a 2008 penny. Check the details: the date, the mint mark, the lettering, the edges, the color, the surface quality. If you find something unusual, hold on to it. You might have something worth hundreds, thousands, or even more, depending on its quality and uniqueness. This is what makes collecting so exciting: the possibility that the smallest coin in your hand might be the most valuable. Here on Coins, we bring you the latest discoveries, hidden gems, rare finds, and market updates so you always stay ahead of the game. The world of coins is not just a hobby, it is history, knowledge, adventure, and opportunity all combined. And the 2008 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a simple coin can become a treasure with an incredible story and a rising market value. So keep your eyes open, keep searching, and never underestimate the power of a small penny. Sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest surprises. And if you find something rare, you'll remember this video forever. Today we dive deep into the unbelievable world of rare Lincoln cents, coins that look simple and ordinary but hide secrets powerful enough to shock even experienced collectors. Today's journey is not just about metal, dates, or mint marks. This is a story of history, luck, value, and mystery surrounding the rare Lincoln penny coins that collectors chase like hidden treasure chests. These coins have been sold for massive amounts in the market, numbers like $787.97644, and the demand is still increasing every single day. Whether you're holding an old jar of coins at home or saving pennies from daily shopping, today's script might change the way you look at even the smallest coin in your hand. The Lincoln penny began its journey over a century ago, introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. And ever since its first release, it became one of the most collected coins in America. What makes this coin so special is its long timeline, its endless varieties, its rare mistakes that mint workers never intended, and its ability to turn a simple copper piece into life-changing money. Many people think pennies are worthless, but collectors know that hidden inside some small cents is history itself, and history is always valuable. Among all the years, some are extremely rare because of mint errors, low mintage, or unique characteristics. Over time, collectors discovered coins with double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, missing letters, smooth edges, and strange metal combinations. A single tiny error that escapes the mint can create a one-of-a-kind coin worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Even in modern years, including around 2018, collectors continue to find pennies with sharp details, mint flaws, or special surface conditions that turn them into high-value collectibles. In fact, the increasing population of grading companies and high-resolution collectors' cameras has made the hunt even more exciting. A penny minted in 2018 might look new, shiny, and ordinary, but under the right conditions, like a flawless strike or an unexpected error, it can reach surprising prices in the market. Imagine this: a coin that cost 1 cent to produce ends up selling for more than $787.97644. It sounds unbelievable, but the rare coin market is full of stories like this. People have discovered pennies sitting in drawers, tucked inside old wallets, or left forgotten in piggy banks for years. Only later did they realize that one small detail, like a doubled number, an off-centered image, or a smooth planchet error, had turned that penny into a small fortune. The thrill comes from the idea that anyone, anywhere, at any moment can find such a rare piece. The market has grown drastically because collectors today understand the importance of rarity, grade, and demand. Every year, new collectors enter the hobby, increasing competition and turning the rare Lincoln penny into a hot topic on auctions. Whether it's a vintage wheat cent from early years or a modern shield cent from recent years, the value keeps rising. People search online marketplaces, coin shows, antique shops, and even their own pockets, hoping to find the next big penny that can break auction records. Some pennies that once sold for only a few dollars now have price tags multiplied many times because collectors realized how limited they truly are. The Lincoln penny holds a special emotional connection as well. Many people began collecting coins because a parent or grandparent gave them a small coin album. Some found old wheat pennies that created curiosity, leading them deeper into the world of numismatics. This emotional attachment adds even more power to the value of rare pennies, because collectors don't just buy metal, they buy stories, history, and meaning. A rare penny becomes a memory, a connection to America's past, and a symbol of discovery. When we talk about market value, we must remember that condition is king. A penny in perfect condition, with sharp details and no scratches, can jump from pocket change to collector treasure instantly. A coin graded at the highest level can attract serious buyers who are willing to pay top dollar. That's why many coins from years like 2018, even though they are recent, can still fetch strong prices if they have perfection or errors. The digital age has changed everything. Collectors now share discoveries online, and the more people learn about rare pennies, the more valuable those coins become. The Lincoln pennies most collectors chase are not only the old ones but also surprising modern pieces. A flawless penny with a mint error can sell in the hundreds, and in some rare cases even close to figures like the $787.97644 you heard earlier. Some collectors even believe the rare market will grow further because younger generations are entering coin collecting as a digital hobby through videos, channels like Coins, social media groups, and online auctions. With this growth, demand increases, and when demand increases, price increases. The beauty of the Lincoln penny is that it is everywhere. Anyone watching this video has probably touched hundreds of Lincoln pennies without realizing their hidden potential. And that is the magic of this coin. You don't need to be a millionaire to start collecting. You only need curiosity, attention, and the desire to explore. Even the smallest penny could be worth more than $100 or even close to the high values we mentioned earlier. Every time you get change from a shop, every time you open an old drawer, you might unknowingly be holding a rare piece that collectors would love to buy. The history of the Lincoln penny is also filled with transformations, metal changes, design changes, wartime years, and special editions. From pure copper to copper-plated zinc, from wheat ears on the back to the Lincoln Memorial and now the modern shield, every change added character to this little coin. Each design era created unique varieties, some of which are incredibly valuable today. A single misplaced letter, a doubled date, or an odd strike pattern can increase a penny's worth dramatically. Collectors continue to study these varieties carefully, and every year new discoveries appear. The 2018 pennies entered the market with modern minting technology, but even then, some rare errors escaped unnoticed. Collectors found sharp doubled features, plating bubbles, metallic cracks, and unexpected strike flaws. These coins, depending on rarity and grade, can reach impressive market values. And as collectors compete for the best examples, the prices continue to rise. In the world of rare coins, nothing is predictable. Any coin from any year can suddenly become valuable when the right collector is willing to pay for it. So the next time you see a Lincoln penny, don't ignore it. That small cent might be hiding a story worth hundreds of dollars or even near the remarkable values people talk about today. Check your pockets, your drawers, your jars, your old collections. Every coin has potential, and every collector has a chance to find something extraordinary. The world of rare Lincoln pennies is full of surprises, and your discovery might be the next big one. Thank you for joining Coins Today, where we reveal the secrets hidden in plain sight. Keep looking, keep searching, keep collecting. Your next rare penny could be closer than you think, and the journey has just begun.